Welcome to a special Mock the Mock, where we take a look at someone else's mock draft and I mock and give you my views, thoughts, and opinions. I thought with the bowl season basically over with only the national championship remaining, and actually the NFL has a few slate of games today, so that's kind of cool. But I'd give you all some Saturday content to indulge in. We're going to check out Bengals mock draft. Big fan of a Bengal, but what's crack-a-lackin'? It's your boy Broshmo, just in case you did not know so. Go ahead, become a bro and subscribe. Leave this video a thumbs up if you enjoy the content. As always, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let's have that nice, beautiful football discourse. And a special thanks to Underdog Fantasy for sponsoring the video. If you like weekly fantasy, shoot, even with a week like this where teams are going to be resting their stars, then check out Underdog Fantasy. Use promo code Broshmo when you sign up, and they'll hook you up a little bit extra to get you going to start your betting journey. But remember, my friends, bet responsibly. Let's go ahead, get into this. Bengal did take Bryce Young to start the draft off there for the Houston Texans. Full disclosure, I've already watched the video, so I suggest you go watch the video. He puts out a very good content. But shoot, if you're watching this, you probably already have watched his content anyway. But Houston Texans, no kidding, they're taking Bryce Young. Maybe, hold on, I want to try to make this bigger for you because it's going to be hard to see. Let's see. There, you can even see my search history. I looked up 2023 NFL mock draft to find it. So there we go. Maybe that's better for y'all. But yeah, I mean, for me, this is a foregone conclusion that this pick's quarterback. Obviously, we're gonna have a debate on should they not go with Bryce Young because of the size, and maybe take CJ Stroud, who probably has the higher floor of a lot of these quarterbacks. But even then, talking about quarterback floors gets a little sketchy. Or maybe to risk the biscuit on the tools of Will Levis. But I think we all could kind of agree that quarterback is probably the most ideal pick. Now let's take a look at the Chicago Bears and see who they select from Will Anderson and Jalen Kata. And they'll be going Jalen Carter. Again, I also feel like this is a very Matt Eberflus thing to do. Granted, this is his first time actually being a head coach. He was only the DC over in Indianapolis, but I think he probably had a little hand in them giving up a first rounder for DeForest Buckner. So this probably means that Seattle will take Will Levis, because that just makes all the sense in the world. And they do. They in fact do take Will Levis. No problems with that. For me, Seattle, it's like you're taking whoever the Bears don't select. Now we start to get into the meatier side of the draft, because we kind of we could all assume that the first three picks, they're kind of foregone conclusions. Texans quarterback, Bears Carter or Anderson, Seattle whoever the Bears didn't take. We kind of get that's probably going to be a lot of what the first three picks look if they remain the way that they are. The Arizona Cardinals here next on the clock, and it's kind of a conundrum where they're picking at, but you know, it kind of is what it is, and I think Bengal got it right. We jumped too far. There we go, with Myles Murphy. This is why I hate doing videos for Mock the Mock. I gotta click around. It's a mess. I'd rather do articles. They're very much easier. But he goes Myles Murphy. I tend to agree with this one. I've seen Brian Brazee up here before. I've seen people try to shoe in a tackle up here, which I can get that. I don't know if I'm really on. I guess Paris Johnson, even Peter Skoronski is fine. It's just there's gonna with the concerns with Skoronski, I wonder if anyone's gonna take him in the top 5, maybe even top 10. But Myles Murphy, to me, a guy that's probably going to test out very similar to Travon Walker, if you didn't know, went first overall last year. And I think he's got a little bit better, polish to him as a pass rusher. And we saw that the Indianapolis Colts went with CJ Stroud. So, again, I'm a big fan of Stroud, I guess. I feel like I became a big defender of Stroud just randomly out of nowhere. I was like, I'm a huge Bryce Young fan. And then everyone's out here, just crapping on Stroud. I was like, whoa, guys, he's not that bad. What are we talking about here? I swear, I've seen some comments just try to convince themselves that this class is actually worse than the 2022 class. I'm just like, yo, What the heck? All right. But nah, we figure the Colts will go quarterback here, whether that's Will Levis, whether that's Stroud. I feel like those are both all right decisions. Again, Will Levis, I might not be that high on him as probably the consensus, but I do understand why a team would take him here. I mean, essentially, first round pick is like a lottery ticket, and if you hit on Will Levis, then you probably hit him big. Then we got the Detroit Lions. This is, I think, was one of the more interesting picks in the draft, as he goes talking about the Colts for. Oh, that's right. He talks about Stroud for a long time. There we go. Christian Gonzalez, which I was like, oh, this is interesting, and I kind of like it. Listen, I really think Christian Gonzalez is, at least at this standpoint, is starting to be cornerback one for a lot of people, at least a lot of evaluators or analysts or whatever the hell you want to call them, that he's starting to kind of become that consensus one, and we're starting to see maybe more shuffle up between who's 2, 3, 4, 5 even. So I'm cool with this, man. He actually fits the scheme quite well if they retain Aaron Glenn that they have there at DC. So pairing him up next to Jeffrey Okudah, I'm really okay with that. I think it's kind of neat. All right, the Atlanta Falcons. I'm trying to actually, do I remember what they went with here? Well, yeah, Brian Brazee. I was like, Tyree Wilson. No, it's Brian Brazee. Duh. This is a good pick. Listen, pairing him up with Grady Jarrett, I think is phenomenal. So I know a lot of y'all aren't that high on him, and I guess it is what it is, to each their own. I just think, he's going to test out exceptionally well. I think that he uses the hands well. They can be more precise. I've seen that brought up in the comment section, and I was like, yeah, I guess they can be more precise, but I still think for how active his hands are in general, that I think it'll be fine. I think he's going to test out extremely well. And he's a guy that's been a constant can opener for the Clemson defensive line. So adding that there, Atlanta, they need pass rush help in general. So if this is Tyree Wilson, if this is Verse, I really have no qualms about it. The Las Vegas Raiders, I really thought when I was listening to the video that Bengal was going to pull a Will Levis. I really did. And I was kind of hoping. I really want to see it. But he goes with Tyree Wilson. And yeah, this is a team that does need pass rush. You actually get a really good run stuffer here as well, because Chandler Jones, he's been fine in some instances. Really started the year out extremely slow. He's really just had like 2 or 3 just like, whoa, those are some banger games. Sucks because you're paying him so much. But Tyree Wilson could come in and you get a really nice rotation there, and I really think a lot of teams are going to probably view Tyree Wilson probably as a top 10 pick. I'll have him in that probably that general vicinity. I'll probably have him somewhere around 12 to 16. I'm still churning out my prospect rankings, if you didn't know, and I'm still trying to figure out where I'm gonna have certain guys, certain places. Like as I do each of these prospect ranking videos, I'm going back and I'm seeing, man, who do I really like, or who do I think might really blow up in the off-season draft process. So it's like you'll get a big board here soon enough, sometime in January when I wrap it all up. I'm a child. I can't believe I just laughed at wrap it all up. That's so stupid. Panthers, go Will Levis. This is a no-brainer. Dude, go for, yeah, you're the Panthers. You gotta go for a quarterback. I really do. For those that haven't soured on Sam Darnold yet because he's playing particularly well, it's like, that's fine. I feel like you could still draft quarterback here. I don't think you want to trust Sam Darnold. You can still bring him back, have these two contend for the quarterback spot for the starter next year. And if you don't feel Will Levis is ready, then bam, just start Darnold. It's fine. The Philadelphia Eagles, this is an interesting spot because typically Christian Gonzalez is always available, and I love picking him here for the Eagles. But instead, we got him going with Cam Smith, which again, this is a guy that always gets kind of lost in the shuffle and gets like of like, oh, who are your top corners? And he always kind of like, he's a part of that tier, but he always ends up at the back half. Like Cam Smith's really good, and I think probably a bit more versatile, more scheme versatile than some of the other corners in that tier, being guys like Devon Witherspoon. You got who, if you didn't know, just recently I decided to make a move with Joey Porter, Keely Ringo, and such. But I think this is a very solid pick if they can't bring back James Bradbury. But even if they can, Darius Slay's up there in years. They have tried bringing in younger corners or drafting younger corners, kind of hopefully be those heir apparents, guys like Tay Gowan, Zach McPherson, I believe, the former Texas Tech, right? No one's really stepped up thus far. All right, Tennessee Titans, kind of an easy pick. Paris Johnson. Yes, you are stuck with Tannehill for another year. You have Derrick Henry. He's the engine of the offense, which means everything around that engine needs to be working just fine. And guess what? The left side of that offensive line ain't working fine. So grabbing top tackle on the board. I get not even the first tackle off the board. That's the best way to put it. Bam goes ahead. He takes Quentin Johnston here. I love it. This is a pick I love making for the Houston Texans. I'm a big fan of Quentin Johnston. He's my wide receiver one. I love the size. I love what he can do after the catch, just because he's so hard to bring down. I can't wait to see how he tests. All right, we got the New York Jets. Another thing I do, I actually really like this. Peter Skoronski. I haven't really I don't feel like I've had an opportunity to take Peter Skoronski for the Jets. Typically, he's off by the I think the Tennessee pick. But I like this because it gives you a very versatile offensive lineman that could really start wherever. If if you feel like, oh, you know what, maybe he'll lose out to Mekhi Becton for the left/right tackle job. Cool. Well, we let Connor McGovern walk, so we're gonna play him at center. Or hey, we let Nate Herbig walk, we'll play him at guard. So it's I like that. I like that pick a lot. Skoronski provides a lot of versatility. And just because maybe he's not as strong, not to say he's not strong, the dude is strong, but maybe not where you want it to be, or for a top 10 pick that doesn't have the high-end athleticism where you want it to be for a top 10 pick. And we're talking in terms of if he is a tackle at the NFL. If you're looking at him as an interior prospect, then he checks those boxes. Doesn't have ideal length. It's I could see him slipping out of the top 10 if you don't view him as a tackle, or if you view him sub in those regards. And then the Washington Commanders, they get Joey Porter Jr. If they retain the coaching staff, I think this is a really good fit for Jack Del Rio's scheme. And Joey Porter is just that next corner up, really, man. He's lanky, he's athletic. They need cornerback depth and talent. The Pittsburgh Steelers, they take Broderick Jones. I think this is the best scheme fit. Schematically, you're getting a tackle who is a very good run blocker, might need work as a pass protector. His footwork could be a bit, I don't want to say sloppy, I don't want to say lazy. I just think it needs work. He needs to pick up them feet. It looks like he's crossed the mafia, and they put him in lead shoes, if you know what I mean. Some cement shoes that he's about to be swimming with the fishes. That's kind of like how his feet move right now. Obviously, that's a bit hyperbole on my part. Oh my gosh, I can't say words. Obviously, I'm over exaggerating. Let's try to pronounce words that I can. But I think that's why Broderick Jones probably doesn't get talked about as with Paris Johnson or Peter Skoronski. That's just kind of my opinion. We're going to get a Robert Tonyan replacement here with the Green Bay Packers. Getting Michael Mayer. I absolutely love Michael Mayer. I think he will go. I think he's going to go in the top 20, man. He's just that good. Where? It's going to be the question, but a popular landing spot is the Green Bay Packers. All right, the Detroit Lions here. I think Bengal made a joke about taking Keely Ringo. Instead, he takes Trenton Simpson. He's weird, man. I have a hard time projecting where he may go or where do I want to take him, but I think he is the top linebacker in this class. I really do. The Detroit Lions get that guy. It's a really good mover, really good out in space. I get, yeah. I mean, that's kind of a cool linebacker core going to the future with Malcolm Rodriguez there. You also pair it up with your other pick being Christian Gonzalez, and it's like, yeah, things are looking good. You could get that, maybe that next defensive piece on day 2 to line up on the interior with Liam McNeil. So like, I feel like there's not a lot of wrong ways the Lions could go in this draft. The Seattle Seahawks take Keely Ringo, guy that I'm curious, man. I said this like at the beginning of my like preseason comp. Said I love Keely Ringo. I love the size. I love the speed. I'm curious if he ends up being a safety. But I think he can stick it at corner. And shoot, you're just gonna add another big, stupid fast corner alongside Tyreek Woolen. That's kind of nice. So yeah, I like this haul. They get Will Anderson. They get Keely Ringo. The Jacksonville Jaguars, I believe, get Clark Phillips. There we go. Here, what is it? Do you have Williams? I think recently he's kicked out to the outside corner spot with Tyson Campbell, and has actually done an all right job at it as well. So it's like, get it Phillips, who I think he's going to fall because teams see him undersized, but get him to come in and play in the slot probably majority of the time, but a guy that now you have more moving parts, guys that can kick back inside, kick outside. You can move guys how you want them. Maybe if you want them to match up on certain receivers. Where are you at? I know Darius Williams has the most pass breakups in football. Yeah, dude. Oh my gosh, dude. He's been doing actually a fairly solid job on the outside there. Holy moly. Let me move this so I can actually see the screen. Son of a gun, dude. So he has started the last 4 games on the outside. Okay, let's see the snap breakdown there. Yeah, predominantly on the outside, and has only allowed 3 receptions. Shoot, you go to the Cowboys and the Jets game, he allowed no receptions. My gosh, dude. And it's fun fact, like, he's basically the same size as Clark Phillips. So that's interesting. I do like the idea of getting more depth. You could never have too many good corners in the NFL. Oh, wasn't that a fun adventure we just went on? All right, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I believe he does Bijan Robinson. We jumped too much. Oh my gosh, how quick do you do? There we go. Bijan Robinson. And I think Bengal brings up is like, Bijan's going to the top 20. The question is just where. And I think a lot of this pick was just like, he's going to go in the top 20. He's not going to be available after this. I kind of agree. I don't think Tampa Bay is necessarily that spot. I feel like there's just other big needs that need to be addressed. So I ain't on board. I ain't feeling that, but I do agree with him going to the top 20. It's just Tampa Bay, man. You got your 2 top, or you got 2 of your 3 best corners on the team, which, I mean, that can mean different things for different teams. But in this case, you got Sean Murphy-Bunting, who is very good, and then you have Jameel Dean, who I think is going to get freaking paid in free agency. Very underrated corner in the NFL. I don't know if they can retain both those guys. We could talk about the offensive line. Like, you could always look to eventually move on from Donovan Smith, even if you financially can't do it this year. You could look for interior help, because the interior hasn't been that good. And mainly it's that left guard spot. Shaq Mason's done a good job this year, as always. He's great. And I think Robert Haney was doing solid too. but you will get Ryan Jensen back. So it's like it is that left guard spot. We got the New England Patriots. We saw they're taking DeJuan Jones, and I do agree with Bengals' notion that it's like it just seems like the type of tackles they normally take. Isaiah Wynn, bigger guy. People thought he would kick into guard. They brought back Trent Brown. He's often hurt though, but bigger guy. So DeJuan Jones, he's a bigger guy. He's a bigger guy, all right. Darnell Wright would be an interesting thought. I'm pretty sure Bengal actually ran through a bunch of different tackles in this scenario, though. We have the New York Giants. I actually don't quite remember what he does for them. Oh, it's probably Jordan Addison. It's Jordan Addison. Do we really need to cover this, Giants fans? It is like your ideal draft pick. You want yourself some receiver, and really, after Jordan Addison and Quentin Johnston, you're not feeling great at this spot. I believe this next pick's Jackson. No, it's not. It's Devon Witherspoon. Here we go. This is the guy that, like, dude, I think he led college football in pass breakups, and he's just been shut down all this season. And he's just been good, man. I think he's gonna test out well. I don't have questions about his long speed. He showed sideline to sideline speed, and I'm sure that can happen vertically for him as well. He handled Ronnie Bell, who was a speedy guy in that Michigan game, and like I'm starting to like I'm buying into it. I think he's gonna blow up the Senior Bowl, and we might be talking about him as cornerback 1 or 2. But this is a great fit, and I believe the Ravens would love this with Marcus Peters being a free agent. And I mean, you're kind of seeing right now with him being hurt. I don't think Brandon Stevens is a guy you really want there on the outside, or at least not like. I feel like he's a better versatile defensive back than actual outside corner, like full time. The Chargers go. Oh, Darnell Washington. Yeah, I'm just not as high on him as everyone else is. Poo me, I guess. I don't know. I mean, you get a really good blocker here who's, I think, limited from a receiving standpoint. But limited, man. At that size, his straight line speed's amazing. Cool. He can't move well laterally. Like, he's shown, he's tough to bring down after the catch. He's even hurdled guys before, but like, I don't think he does well in contested catch situations, but I don't think he has the most natural hands as a pass catcher. Like, I'm not as confident. I get people projecting him, and I won't fault people for that. Maybe they end up right, but I think I feel better about this guy day 2. The Bengals, I think it's Anton Harrison. Listen, La'el Collins won't be back early in the year next season. He just won't with that ACL injury, and he has had a hard time coming back from a previous injury. At least that's how we like to explain the drop off in play. Jonah Williams will be on the last year of his deal, so I think getting a tackle is actually not sexy for a lot of people, but I think it's the right call. I'm really hoping Anton Harrison starts to talk about I'm really feeling him now. Like, I'm really loving Anton Harrison. I think he's probably going to be in that range first round. I think he should probably even be closer to like a top 20 maybe selection. He's probably going to be around 25 on my big board. All right. We have the Minnesota Vikings. I think it's Jackson Smith and Ajigba, right? Yeah, Jackson Smith and Ajigba. So I like this, man. Grab more receivers. Adam Thielen's up there in dog years. KJ Osborne has shown it here and there, but just grabbing more playmakers, man. Playmakers help. Pretty sure Kirk Cousins, prime time Kurt, would love that. The Dallas Cowboys, always hard to draft for the Dallas Cowboys. I'm trying to think what they did. Oh, yeah, Jahmyr Gibbs. Listen, Tony Pollard's a free agent. I'm not going to justify this pick. I'm not that high on. I don't like drafting running backs early. I don't think you really need to. We've seen who's the other back there? Malik Davis. He came in. He plays well with Zeke. I don't like. Yeah, Tony Pollard's gonna be a big hit if he leaves via free agency. I don't think you need a first rounder to supplement him with. Think about it. Like Tony Pollard, wasn't he like a 4th rounder? You don't need to supplement him with a first rounder. You don't. So just, yeah, it's my take. Denver Broncos, Osiris Torrance. You hate the Broncos, Gojo? Well, we're about to be at the Chiefs. They're a couple of picks away. All right. He doesn't want to look at this Broncos pick. He really hates the Broncos. You know what it is? He knows I struggle to get up right now because of my pulled hammy. So he just likes to see me miserable. That's impossible. Gojo loves everybody. He would never want that. But Osiris Torrance, this is interesting thought. Okay, Dalton Reisner is a free agent. Maybe you want to get off like a Glasgow contract, which I don't know why he's playing good football. Lloyd Cushenberry might not be the guy you want moving forward, so maybe Quentin Minor steps into that role rather than him going to left guard. So Osiris Torrance just kind of enables stuff for the Broncos, so it makes sense. And honestly, it kind of steals a very good pick for the Buffalo Bills. Like, I love that pick for Buffalo. Brian Branch, I hope I'm going to have him going a lot earlier than this. I absolutely love Brian Branch, but grabbing another safety there for the Bills as Joyner moves on. Hyde has 1 more year left on his deal, so grabbing some more safety play would be ideal moving forward in the future. Buffalo, they don't have a lot of needs that need to be addressed. Matthew Bergeron, going at the end here. Wow, it's a lot higher than I have him. I don't know. Maybe he comes to the Cedar Bowl and I'm like, holy crap, yeah, man, what am I talking about? This guy's first round. Get on it, bro. But they do need a tackle. Wiley's not good, and Orlando Brown, like, he's allowed a ton of pressure this year. You're probably, after wanting to pay him a ton of money and him declining it, you're probably not going to want to pay him what he wants, or let alone what you offered the first time. All right, then we got the Philadelphia Eagles get Jared Verse. Pretty darn good selection here. I believe they grabbed Cam Smith at the beginning. All right, so first they grab more pass rush. That's ideal. Sweat having the neck injury. Hopefully everything's okay with him. I haven't looked at an update on him, so don't know what a timeline looks like. Or shoot, maybe he'll be back for the playoffs. That would be ideal. But you got obviously Brandon Graham. He's up there in dog years too. So grabbing Verse, I think, would be nice. And then he does do Houston's last pick, and it's Isaiah Foskey, my boy. Oh, you can't see it. Here, let me move it up. Isaiah Foskey. They grab that edge rusher. Again, I think there's a lot of fun things Houston can do. Here, I think there's a lot of fun things Houston can do in this draft, and I can't wait to see it. Like, this is going to be a really fun draft process. But that's it for the video. Go ahead, do the YouTube thing as always. Until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.